It's for somebody special. Yeah, can't wait it out tonight.
Hello and welcome back to Nails by Stephanie. This is the second time I'm recording the intro because I'm so used to saying Nails by Sora, it's going to take me a while to get used to the fact that I'm actually using my real name now. But welcome back, or welcome if you have not joined us before. You join us today doing my sister's nails, and this is a rare treat because my sister lives in New York and she's, lucky her, she's down here visiting in Florida right in advance of Hurricane Milton hitting. It is 11:17 a.m. Wednesday, October 9th. Milton is still just off the coast and coming in at a wonderful Category 4 hurricane. You are hearing this in the future. I am still here in the past, and hopefully everything is as well as can be on the other side. But since she is here and I plan to do her nails anyway, we took the opportunity to do so. And my sister has interesting nails. Her nails grow at an upward tilt, so it creates kind of a crevice for the gel to settle into towards the base of her nail. So when her nails start growing out, there's this depression and ridge that you have to kind of go over and minimize. And what I ended up doing is when I went in with the builder gel or structure gel, which I'm using, and I don't know why I can never remember the name. Hold on one moment. Luminary Nail Systems. I use it all the time on myself. I just don't know why I can never remember the name of the system or the company. Anyway, so it's a thick gel, and it is naturally going to find its level and pool in areas where there's a depression. So I use it to build up the structure of her nail. It's a wonderful product. I would highly recommend it. The only problem is if you don't have a professional nail license, you probably can't buy it unless it's available in a local nail supply store near you where they will sell it to you. But if you go through the website, I don't think, unless they've opened it up to everyone, unless you're a student or a professional, in the past, you can't purchase it. But there are other brands, other companies out there that sell builder gel and structure gels, things that are very similar in nature, where you can build out the structure of the nail. So that's what I'm going to be doing on her nail. And right now I'm just focusing on removing the product and slimming down the structure of the nail and preparing the nail for new product. So I'm going in with a multi-bit. This one is from Pana, I believe. It's either Pana or Makartt. I will link it down in the description box below. And then I'm going to go in, and start preparing the cuticle. All right, so now I'm going in and I'm using a cuticle pusher, and I'm just gently pushing back the nail fold and trying to scrape off gently. You don't want to really scrape against the natural nail plate. Trying to remove as much of the cuticle I can, or make it, pull it up a little bit from the nail plate to make it more easy to remove with my cuticle bits. And the cuticle bit I am using is from Makartt. It is a I think it's referred to as a safety bit, though generally speaking, safety bits have a rounded edge so that you don't accidentally cut the cuticle. But it is called a safety cone bit, if I remember correctly, and it is meant specifically for lifting cuticle up off the nail plate and lifting the proximal nail fold. So I'm gently going around to the left in forward motion on the efile and removing the cuticle, lifting up the nail fold, and then I'm going to reverse the direction of the rotation to reverse and go around the right hand side of the nail fold.
Passarinho da montanha quando chega, voou, voou. Passarinho da montanha quando chega, voou, voou. Que o vento leve logo já. Que o vento leve logo já.
And once that is done, I can go in with my nippers and start trimming away the lifted cuticle. Now, I will admit I am not that great at this. I've been doing it on myself and on clients for 3 years now, and I still feel like I should take a course and see how other people do it in person, because to be honest, this is something that was not gone over in practical when I went to school. For whatever reason, we were left predominantly to our own devices unless we had questions, and I felt like I did a good enough job that I really didn't need to talk to anyone about it. But I do feel at this point that I need to take another class, not on Russian manicures or anything to that extreme, but just on proper cleanup of the cuticle using nippers, because there's always a bit of a ragged edge. So I tend to go in with a cuticle ball bit, which will be after I do her left hand, to go in and clean up around the proximal nail fold and just to clean away any ragged edges and pieces of cuticle left on the nail plate. But I do need to search my area and see if there's anything in the vicinity that goes over proper cuticle cleanup and care. I was talking to her about something. I have no idea. But if you see my hands waving back and forth, that's why.
Que vento leve love logo já. Que leve love já. Para patar tu pap tu paga tu gadum. Paga tak 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 tu gadum. Tek 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 ga. Paga tak tek 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 gadum. Tek tak tek 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 gadum. Tek 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 da. Para ga tak tek tek gadum. Tek 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 ga. It's for somebody special, yeah. Can't wait it out tonight. Baby, you special. Can't wait it out tonight. Yeah. Can't believe it's so. Yeah. 20 nights been so. Baba don't lose composure. Yeah. Girl, my champion lover. Would you wait for me, girl? Yeah. Cause now you did cross my mind. Would you wait for me, girl? I know, ain't no distance.
So for some reason, whenever I'm doing a set of nails, I tend to do the cuticle care before I go in and shape the nails, which really should reverse and start the manicure off with cutting down and shaping the nails, because when you're using the file, there's always a chance you're going to rub it up against the sidewalls and the cuticle and cause lifting because you're using an abrasive against the skin or along the skin. So I really should lead with that so that I'm not going into the skin and the cuticle after I've already done all the cleanup, leading to having to do more cleanup afterwards. I didn't notice really any damage that I had to then go back over this time, but you really should, when you're doing a manicure on somebody else, after you remove all the polish and everything, go in, cut the nail, shape the nail, and then go into cleaning up the nail plate and pushing back the proximal nail fold, going into the cuticle cleanup, and then finishing up with smoothing out the nail plate, prepping it for the actual polish. So my sister wanted pretty short nails. Because her nails tilt upwards, they tend to lift a little bit from her nail plate, or the nail bed rather. So try to keep them as short as possible so that she doesn't catch them on anything and cause damage. But I did one nail. I'm having her look at it, let me know what she thinks, and she liked it, so I'm going on to the next nail. And her regular nail tech doesn't really shape them the way that she likes. They tend to be a little bit more rounded instead of almond. So really focusing on making them a little bit more tapered at the tip. And I was having a lot of trouble with the setup. I'm using a new nail lamp. I got one of the half moon nail lamps that span the width of the desk. And then the clamp for my phone is supposed to go on top of it, but then that would put it in a vertical format instead of a horizontal format. So I managed to attach it underneath, but then I was having trouble with the placement of her hand and making sure that both hands were underneath the camera properly. I had to zoom out quite a bit, and it was a whole mess. I will, try to make sure. I may do my next manicure on myself on this table, because usually my back is to the table that I usually use. And I use a different lamp for that setup. So I may switch next time I do my nails and just, see if I can get it set up properly. So stay tuned on that. But I removed the dust collector out of the way, because with the camera being above me and the dust collector being below me, I kept hitting the dust collector with the file when I was trying to file her nails, because I didn't want to lift her hand up too high and hit the camera. So I just put a paper towel underneath to catch any of the fall off from the filing, and then when I go in to buff the surface of her nail, I'm going to bring the dust collector back so that it catches all of that. But yeah, just doing her left hand, then her right hand, then I'm going to compare both hands to make sure the nails match. Spoiler alert, they did not. Her left hand ended up being longer, so I then had to go back and trim some nails and reshape them and smooth them out, and it was a whole rigmarole because I accidentally cut the nail on her right thumb a little bit short, so I then had to go back and shorten all of her other nails.
Quando você sorriu, chorei. Eu nunca pude imaginar que fosse acontecer. E numa bola de cristal vi o futuro transformar. E o que era bom ficou legal. Passarinho da montanha, quando chega, voou, voou. Passarinho da montanha, quando chega.
And the last step before doing the manicure itself is going out and buffing the surface. I always like to use one of the narrow mandrel bits with a narrow mandrels with a sanding bit, and this one is 180 grit sanding. So go out and smooth, because when you go ahead and you use a multi-bit or any kind of bit for removal, you're going to gouge into the nail. No matter how hard you try not to, it's just the nature of it. There's no way to really get an even smooth surface with it. So you want to go in with either a block buffer or a buffing bit and smooth out the surface. Make sure it's even all the way around the edge of the tip of the nail, that you smooth out any ridges down by the cuticle, that you remove any lifted bits that may still be part of the product from the last manicure, and just make sure it's really a smooth, even surface to work with.
Bola de cristal vi o futuro transformar. E o que era bom ficou legal. Passarinho da montanha, quando chega, voou, voou. 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 Que o vento leve, love, logo já. Que o vento leve, love, logo já. Que o vento leve, love.
All right, moving on to the actual manicure, going in with luminary. First, there were a few ragged peaches. There are a few ragged peaches, or pieces, if you want to say, around the free edge of her nails. So I'm just trimming that off. But I'm going in with Commit, which is the primer for the luminary gel system. And then I'm going to be going in with Clarity, which is the clear Builder Gel base. They call it a multi-flex gel. They also call it a soak-off hard gel. I feel like it's very I feel it's very disingenuous to call it a soak-off hard gel, because by the nature of having a hard gel, it is not soak off. Hard gels, the molecules in hard gels are too close together for acetone or any solvent to soak in and break it down. That's why it's a hard gel. A soft gel, the molecules are further apart, so the acetones or solvents can get through and break it down and help it soak off. Hard gels you need to file off. Soft gels you can soak off. That being said, soft gels you can also file off if you want to. You don't need to soak it off. I do prefer to file off all of my gels, but I digress. So this is a structure gel, multi-flex gel, soak off hard gel if you want to call it that, even though it's not, from Luminary. And I'm going in to build out and restructure her nail. I apologize, you couldn't really see me doing her pinky finger, as it was off camera, but I'm going into her ring finger now. So what you want to do when you're using a builder gel or any kind of structure gel, thick gel, is paint a thin coat over the entire nail. And then once that layer is on the nail, you want to go in with a thicker glob or thicker, a little bit more, and float it over the surface of the nail. And what that's going to do is it's going to help level out all that gel, because gel finds its level. It sinks to its lowest spot and it floats over its the more raised areas. And you can also do that by holding your client's hand or your own hand upside down, and it's going to flow towards the peak of the nail because it's going to respond to gravity and kind of, level out. But because my sister's nail has that depression in it towards her cuticle, I focused that second amount of gel over that area, kind of let it settle, and then you use the liner brush to even it out so there's no rises and falls and dips and further, indentations. It creates a smooth arc over the surface of the nail. So you can see me now just brushing it back and forth, floating it over the surface, going in with the liner brush, smoothing it down along the nail fold and the side walls, making sure it's not pooling towards the free edge and creating kind of a bird's beak. And then I look at it from all sides, from the tip down, from the left and the right, to make sure it's a smooth arced surface over the nail before going in and flash curing it with my flash curing lamp. And because you are using a lot of gel, you're creating a structure and building out the surface of the nail, you are more likely to experience what's called heat spikes, and that's because you've got a really concentrated amount of gel on the surface of the nail. It's going to build up heat, and that heat is going to transfer into the nail plate. So if you need to, or your client needs to, you can, pull the lamp away until it cools down, put it back on, kind of shift it back and forth over the surface of the nail so that it's not such direct concentrated heat over the nail where it's going to feel like it's burning your client. All right, so I didn't show doing her thumb because I believe her thumb was out of camera. So after I did her thumb, I briefly flash cured it, and then I had her put her hand in the lamp for a full 60 seconds to fully cure the gel, because flashing it with the flash curing lamp does not completely cure the gel. It is just to get it to stay still on the nail so that doesn't, shift and move down into the nail fold, into the side walls, off the tip of the nail. This way it just, it stays where it is, and then you have to finish the cure in the full-size lamp. So I'm going to finish her right hand now, and then we're going to move on to the color.
Quando você sorriu, chorei. Eu nunca pude imaginar que isso fosse acontecer. E numa bola de cristal vi o futuro transformar, e o que era bom ficou legal. Passarinho da montanha, quando chega, voou, voou. 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 Que o vento
If you would believe, out of the more than 200 colors I have in my collection of gel polish, my sister wanted the one color, the one shade, the one tone that I did not have. So I could have gone through and mixed colors, but wanted to see if there was something I had that was similar enough to what she wanted. So I'm using two colors from, one from FGel, one from Prey. I don't remember what the names of those are. I will put them in the description box below. Suffice to say, they were not what she wanted. So I actually remembered I have these potted gels from Light Elegance. So I pulled out one that I thought was close. Oh, actually, no. First, I threw all of my swatches at her. I forgot to record. I had hit pause. And I just started dumping all the swatches on top of the armrest and trying to get her to pick a color. But I remember that I had these potted gels from Light Elegance, and she liked this one well enough that we went with it. I ended up doing 3 coats, but started off with 2. And since this is a potted cream gel, buttercream, again, I don't remember the name of it, but it will be down in the description box. And painting it on with one of my Cocoas rounded flat brushes. I do find the Cocoas brushes to be quite easy to work with. I will link it down below. Everything will be linked down below. And just painting on a thin coat, and then using, where necessary, using my liner brush to go ahead and sneak it in closer to the nail fold and around the side walls, and making it all nice and pretty and even. And you just want to make sure that you paint it on thin so that it cures properly, because darker colors will take a little bit longer in the lamp. The light has to penetrate through it properly, so it's always easier or better to do more thin layers than a few thick layers that don't cure properly.
It's for somebody special. Yeah. Can't wait it out tonight. Baby, you special. Can't wait it out tonight. Yeah. Can't believe it's so. Yeah. 20 nights been so. Baba don't lose composure. Yeah. Girl, my champion lover. Would you wait for me, girl? Yeah. Cause now you did cross my mind. Would you wait for me, girl? I know, ain't no distance, ain't no time to get me back to you. Coach, yeah, give me coach, yeah.
So while she liked the color, it wasn't quite what she was looking for, and I have this glass brown, so I figured I'd do a thin layer over it, see what she thought. Initially she liked it, but then seeing it next to the other nail, she thought it was reading too brown and not really like a deep red wine, which is really what she wanted. So we decided at this point to just go with the burgundy berry color, and I'm wiping off the brown, and ended up doing a third coat just to really make it deep and rich and a little less transparent, which is, it looked a little thin. So going in with one more coat, and then we will finish it up with a glossy top coat, some hand cream, some cuticle oil, because my sister always gets the royal treatment.
Free flowing, sailing with the wind, not knowing how this story ends. Kind and brave, I know you'll find a way. Live your truth and good will come to you. Home, sweet home. Home, sweet home.
And that brings us to the end of another video, another manicure with my sister. I always have a ball doing her nails, and I can say with pride that this is the first time I've done her nails where she hasn't pulled away from me because I've, not overfiled, but stayed in one spot too long and caused a heat spike with the e-file. But that's going to do it. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you for sticking around if you've made it to the end of the video, and I will see you in the next one.